Get your hiking boots on. It's time to hit those trails and parks. Just watch out for wild animals. Now, full disclosure, I used to be a ranger. So, does that make me biased towards liking this game? Absolutely. But that does not stop this from being a great game. And really a great looking game to boot. Created by Henry Audubon, it's a collaboration between 59 Park Print Series and Keymaster Games. For 1 to 5 players, plays in about 45 to 90 minutes. Let's open her up and see how it plays. Now here's what your setup will look like. First, you'll take your trail tiles, you'll shuffle them up and lay them out. Everyone will get 2 hikers of the same color. You lay out equipment cards, parks to visit. Everyone will get a secret objective for extra points. For example, on this one, you'll get extra points for how many water parks that require water that you visit. Then, everyone will get canteens, which will give you special powers. Every time you fill up this canteen, looks like you will get a tree. And then you'll flip over the season card, which will give a special rule, as well as this little icon on the bottom here will determine the layout of these extra tokens here. So I'll lay them out as shown on the card. Players will then take turns moving forward. You can move forward as far along the track as you'd like. And when you do so, you do what the track says, as well as pick up any extra tokens that are there. If I was to move all the way up here for this one, I would pick up a tree token here, as well as this little sun token that's extra. Now that does not get replaced. That's just an extra one that the first person who gets there gets. There's also the bluffs here. On the bluffs, you can fill your canteen, use your special power, that is, or you can use 2 tokens of any kind to take a picture. Little pictures here will give you an extra point. Players cannot be on the same tile as someone else unless they have an active campfire, in which case they can flip it over, and then they can be on the same tile. You can always move forward, but you can never move backwards. So you can move forward as far as you'd like and get whatever you get out of your track. But once you move there, you can't go backwards. And once you move to the end, you have different options of things you can do. You can buy equipment. You can reserve a park card so that no one else can buy it. You can buy a park tile if you have the proper tokens. For example, this one costs 2 water and 1 tree. Oh, I just happen to have that. Boom, boom, boom. I am now visiting this park, and I get the corresponding points. Bam. There's also bonuses for the first person to get there, such as extra tokens, or the first player token. Whoever has this will get to go first next turn. And once you do that, once everyone goes through, the last person, no matter how far back they are, if they're the last person, they gotta go to the end. You'll reshuffle your trail tiles. You'll move in different ones. Every round there's going to be a different special tile. For example, this one is you can trade in any of your tokens for a wild animal token, and wild animal tokens are, of course, simply wild tokens. Then switch your season to get your new rule. For example, this one is you gain a sun if you gain any mountains on this turn. You'll replenish the extra tokens, and you will all begin anew. You go through 4 turns, visiting different parks, getting equipment to help you along the way, taking pictures, so on and so forth. Whoever has the most points after 4 seasons wins. Of course, there's extra rules like the camera rule. If you're the last person to take a picture, you get the camera, and that will make it cheaper to take more pictures in the future, and lots of other things, but this is just a quick review. Now, looking at the components, we'll start off The board, it's a little small but functional. I like how it has the the little guide in the corner. Always useful. The the cards, little cards they're small, but they're easy to read. They're functional. They read well. Nice artwork on the backs of them. The tokens, while yes, they're a little light and they feel a little bit cheap, uh, they're still way better than having cardboard tokens, which they could have used. These are, they're actually nice. The meeple pieces that you get are much nicer quality. So the meeples, they're thicker wood. They feel a little more sturdy, a little nicer on there. I like the pictures of the hikers on there. Those are neat. The cases that they come with, this is just a really nice thing to have instead of a bunch of little bags. These trays are fantastic. Saves you on having to go out and buy those little Plano boxes or whatever. So very nice touch that they didn't have to do, which I like, and I like the fact that it's shaped like a tree trunk. Always nice. The hiking parts. This is nice, thick cardboard, good quality, and the artwork on these things is nicer than it needs to be. Even the back of these cards has some nice artwork on it when it could have just been plain. So all the way through, there's just nice artwork everywhere in this game. It's one of the things that I think a lot of people really like about it. First player token is it kind of stands out a little bit. It's a little metal piece here that normally, it seems just a little bit different when everything else is the wood and tokens and cards and whatnot. This kind of stands out, but it's nice to have. But let's get to the real star of the show, which is the park's cards. Now these are very nice quality. Look at that. Like this is the 59 Park Print series. Okay, that's where this came from. So in that series, there's 40 different artists from around the world that have done these parks here, which is very nice. Some of these are very, very high quality. I mean, look at these paintings. These are gorgeous. All right. Really like it. Really like it. I am a little upset though, because when I play this game, I always think of going for the, even though it doesn't help me, the places I've been, like Yellowstone and Badlands, or places I want to go. Again, like the Sequoia National Park. I haven't been there. Really want to go. But they don't have where I worked, which was on the Mississippi. Maybe it's in one of the expansions. I'll have to look and try to find it. Again, upsetting because they have 2 Yosemite cards. They could have gotten rid of one of the Yosemites and thrown in that Mississippi for me. Why weren't they thinking of me when they did this artwork? But overall, oh, watch out for lions. Overall, I will say, yeah, the artwork is fantastic in this game. Definitely a high point. Really adds to the value of the game when you play it, I think. There is only one little cheat sheet guide here, like for the game's actions and whatnot, like a player guide. They could have done maybe a few of these. I don't know. There is a lot of information on here, but I still feel like, I don't know if it could be made smaller. It's a little spaced out. Could have been made smaller, and they could have done 5 of them to hand out and around. That way everyone had their own, as opposed to passing this out. That's one of my pet peeves in games, is when they don't give individual player guides. The rule book itself, though, it does seem loaded with information, and it's quite a few pages, but it's easy to read. There's pictures in there that help. Everything is clear and concise. You can read through it and really get a feel for the game. Easy to find if you have questions. It's easy to find where that may be. There's an FAQ in here as well, common questions, which is always nice when they add that. And on the back is the solo guide for when you're playing by yourself. So how the game feels. There's definitely a race feel to it. Not exactly a race, more like a brisk walk. Not unlike a hike. But yeah, it's not just straight to the finish line. It's you want to hit all those points. It's similar to Tokaido in that way, where you want to get the most out of your trip, but you can't take too much time doing it, otherwise you're going to miss out on things. That's simulated by you get all these you want to collect these tokens, but you want to do it before other people do, and you want to hit spots before you get blocked. And then once you get a certain amount of things, then you're going to make your run to the end. So it's it's not a leisurely stroll because you need those points. You got to get points. And my cat is knocking things over. Oi. Again, watch out for those mountain lions. So yeah, it's just like a hike. It's that fine balance between going through, taking enough time to get as much out of it, but still being able to get to where you need to go, getting to your destinations and whatnot. And also, I can identify with the taking of photos in this game, where taking photos gets you those extra points that you might need to win, so they crucial to your success in the game. Just like you want to take some photos on your hikes, it helps. But if you spend too much time, like I've had a few hiking companions that like to take pictures of everything, and you never quite go as far as you want or get to your destination in a reasonable time if you spend too much time worrying about the pictures. And same with the gear. Having the right gear, really helpful. Having the right gear, is going to make or break you a lot of times in being successful. Just like in real life, you got to have the right gear. But if you don't have the gear, it's going to be a lot harder. And if you pack up on too much gear, you buy too much gear, then it gets in the way, and you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to collect your tokens and make your visits that you wanted to. People are going to pass you up. So, I like that. It's realistic, like it would be in hiking. So those are very nice. And lastly, is the secret objectives are nice because secret objectives, your own individual ways of getting points, just like how everyone has their own individual and personal reasons why they like going to the national parks, why they like being outdoors, why they like making these trips and these visits, and what it means to them. It's a very personal thing for me, and I know for many other people who do it. And so, just like in the game, you've got those personal goals. Very nice touch. Now there is a solo mode. Nice to have it, but it's nothing great. I mean, I hate the win conditions in solo modes that are just get a high score. In any game where it's just always try to beat your last score, always try to do a little bit better. Not a big fan of that. It is nice that there are other rangers on the track. Makes it feel a little bit more competitive. I wish there was a straight goal that you were trying to beat that was fairly difficult but doable, something you could get maybe about 30% of the time, 40% of the time. That's nice. That makes it feel like a good competitive thing. But again, mountain lions. It's like that. But yeah, again, the ranger's on there. Just like if there's other people on the trails that are say, you want to hit a nice spot. There's a nice waterfall, but you got a group of people in front of you, so you're not able to take it in as much. That's a normal thing that happens on the trails. Those pesky rangers, they just get in the way sometimes. So yeah, solo mode. Take it or leave it. It's a nice little activity, but I wouldn't buy this game strictly for that. So in short, again, like I said, I like this game a lot. I really do. It takes me back. I can play it in the winter, and I can have fond memories of these summer hikes that I've done. Makes me think of these trips I've been to, as well as places I do want to go. Reminds me of them. It's just fantastic. The artwork is amazing. The gameplay is nice, and it really helps me get a feel for what it's like to be going on these hikes. Not exactly, but enough. And the fact that I can share it with other people. I'm always trying to get people interested in taking these trips, going out, seeing the sights, seeing what this country has to offer all over. There's so many amazing places, and this just helps bring that to mind and helps really show people. So if this game helps more people go out and take visits and see things around the country at these great parks, that alone makes me happy. But the fact that there's a really, really good game behind it, just fantastic. All right, love this game, highly recommended. All right, so tell me, what do you think? Am I just a shill for the parks, or do you actually agree with me about this game? Let me know. Am I right and am I wrong? Throw it in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.